Mike here, and as you can tell by the title, we are going to attempt to put this DOMI or DOMI hardtop gazebo together today. So stick around. So I just want to share with you some tips and tricks on the best way to put this thing together. Now, this is just going to be a quick video. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm not going to bore you with putting fasteners into metal and hanging things and speeding up the video. So if you purchased it in the store or you had it delivered, it's going to come in 3 boxes. So let me show you real quick. These are the empty boxes. There are 3 boxes, pretty good size, and each weighing in at almost 100 pounds. So it's pretty hefty. Now what I did is I took the liberty of laying everything out before we get started, and that's tip number 1. You want to make sure everything is in the box and everything is kind of separated and organized. So as you can see over here, I've got like parts here. I've got like parts on the table and over here as well. There's parts kind of all over the place, but it's my own little organizational thing. And of course, they are lettered. So each section has their own letter on it to correspond with the directions, which brings me to number 2 tip. Actually, this isn't like an IKEA project where you can just look at the picture and put it together. I would suggest actually reading the instruction manual. Now it's not too thick, which is surprising. So it's pretty thin. I think there's only 16 or 17 steps, and it's pretty straightforward. Go from the beginning and read it. I would pre-read it. Now I did this the day before, and they had me in mind when they were doing this. Yeah, when they were printing this, they said, yeah, Mike's going to put this frickin' thing together, so you better put a reminder in here. And I think it's pretty cool. On step 16 or 15, where is it? Oh, right here. They anticipate me forgetting shit. If you forget to hang the hooks in step 2, then you're going to have to remove part AA and then reattach these hooks. So that tells me that part 2 is pretty important, so I'm not going to forget that. And so anyway, the tools we're going to need, they say anyway, if you want some, let me get back here, if you want some eye protection, that's a good idea. A hard hat, I don't know why I'm going to wear a hard hat. This is pretty light aluminum, but if you feel you need a hard hat, go ahead and put one on. Some gloves. There may be some edges on here that are sharp, but you know what, to be honest with you, there's no sharp edges. But if you feel you want to wear gloves, go ahead and wear them. The third thing is it comes with these tools, these Allen keys here. What I would recommend, highly recommend, is you take the tool, cut it with a hacksaw, and go ahead and use a power driver, or in my case, I've got a drill, and make sure that the drill has torque settings on it. And what torque settings are, that's going to limit the amount of torque that goes into the fastener to prevent it from stripping. Now these things are made of aluminum, so if you tighten it too much, guess what's going to happen? You're going to strip it and it's not going to be good. What I also did is, here's another tip. I went ahead and, where did I put it? Yeah, you've got some fasteners in here, and these are plastic bits. Ah, here we go. These things, I hate this shit. These vacuum pack screws. Now what I like about this product, and I don't know how, let me just get through this. What I do like about this product is most of these fasteners are all the same size. No digging through different size fasteners for different size parts. Now you do have a couple of specialty things like Phillips head screws here, and these little doodads, which I don't know, but there's not too many of them. So your main part, fasteners I should say, are in here. I went ahead and took them out of the vacuum pack and put them right in this container here. This is for easier access, and I left some in there just for good cause. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the site. I would always recommend building the structure in the site you want to install it in. So if you want to put it on the ground, on your yard, install it down there on your yard. In my particular case, I want to put it on the deck. So that's where I'm going to be assembling it. Another thing, if you are on a deck and you've ever built anything on your deck, you know that there's always going to be a time where one of those fasteners is going right in between the cracks. It may be stuck in there. You may have to go underneath, up and down the stairs. The hell with that. I would recommend that you, if you're going to do it on a deck, put a tarp or piece of cardboard. In my case, I'm going to use this carpet, this outdoor carpeting I have here, and assemble it on that just in case you lose a fastener or it falls apart. But anyway, enough of me rambling on. I'm going to get started. Again, I will check back with you in a few hours and see how far we got along. Let's go. All right, just an update on the gazebo. It is about 3 o'clock now in the afternoon. I started at 9, and this is all I got done. I got the roof up, the legs, the railings, all of that kind of stuff. So right now it's just the roof and the curtains I need to put on. It did take me a while, but in all fairness, it's because I'm by myself. I don't have anybody to help me. So I had to wait for my wife to get home so she can hold up parts of the roof while I go ahead and connect it. And also a couple of updates. While putting this together, I'll show you. A lot of the pieces, because if it's shipped, I know they get warped and bent and all of that kind of stuff. But if we notice here, you know, a lot of this stuff like that, I have to rebend and put it in there. So that took, you know, these bolt holes, screw holes aren't lining up, so the fasteners didn't quite go in straight. And you don't, like this is cockeyed, but I'll fix that. I'll just rebend that. But a lot of them were like that, and I think that's due to shipping. They're not lining up quite straight, but that took a little while to get everything. See, this one has a little ding in it from shipping. You know, not too bad, but the directions are quite clear and pretty easy overall. It's just that. And a couple of other things I forgot in the beginning. You're going to need a ladder. And also, since these pieces up here, they didn't fit, like, they didn't connect, like, they weren't, the screws aren't long enough. Let me put it to you that way. I wish they came with a bit longer screws because it doesn't bite. They have to really be close to bite. So what I needed to do is I used some vice grips here to clamp them together and then put the screw in. So I noticed that worked a little better doing it that way. But that's my only complaint so far, is they could have put a little bit more, you know, longer screw, longer fasteners, whatever they are, in the package. But, you know, I guess they needed to save money somehow. So, well, that's it so far. And again, I probably got another 2 hours to go on this, but that's it. And I'll check back with you at the end of the project. It is finally complete. A couple of tips when putting this together. It took me, I know that's the big question. If you're doing it yourself, allow a good solid day and a half to almost 2 full days to put this together. If you're going to do it with a partner, I suggest that. You, a guy or two, case of beer, you'll get it done in a day, and you'll be drinking beer in here at night. And we've got the netting, the canvas pieces. Okay, a couple of tips when getting this done. First of all, the tools you're going to need. I actually ended up having to get a pry bar to kind of maneuver all of the bent pieces into place. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of bent pieces. I put lighting up here, by the way. But those pieces that didn't fit perfectly together, you kind of need to pry it together, because, which brings me to number 2, the fasteners they give you aren't quite long enough. They're a little too short, in my opinion. They could have gone maybe a 1/4 inch bigger, but they didn't. I get that. It saves a little money, a little weight, whatever they want to save. But yeah, it was kind of tough getting all those fasteners into the pieces that were kind of bent. And why did they bend? Probably most likely shipping. Did come in 3 cartons, and you know, UPS or FedEx, whoever delivered it, aren't the best at taking care of these things. But needless to say, it went together. The tools they give, that Allen key, you better have a spare, because there are some occasions where, especially up in these corners here, you're going to use that Allen wrench to get it, and if you already cut it and put it in your drill, well, guess what? You're not going to use it. And of course, get yourself a drill with a torque setting or a screw gun. Set the torque. Even if you don't have one, it's worth going to Home Depot, or you know, you can get a cheap one at one of those Hart brands at Walmart. It's pretty good, and it's definitely worth it when you get this, when you get these many screws in this type of project here. Easier to put together. And that about does it. And I forgot the most important thing: a helper. You are going to need a helper for this. 1, definitely, 100%. 2, that would be better. Even with a helper, putting this roof on, I had to actually use a dead man to hold that up. If you don't have anybody to help you, I would recommend maybe a 12-foot step ladder to hold this piece up here while you're fastening the braces, because it's really tough. You know, the directions say to put most of this together on the ground and then put it on the frame, which is near impossible for one person, because if you try to lift that center, you get, if you can see up here, it bends a little bit and it's not that strong, so you don't want it to flex and bend too much or it'll break. Well, that is it. On a scale of 1 to 10, the project is probably a 2 or a 3. Very easy to put together, I would say. As long as you read the directions, it's pretty simple. There's not too many odd things. Again, it's just the fastening together with those little bent pieces. It's probably the most of it. So good luck. Allow yourself a day and a half or a day with a couple of friends, and you should be able to easily get this done. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.